What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Steve Musa GSGang. Got another scorecard reaction for y'all, and you already know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, yo, this is how we come back with some dope lineups, dog. Look, Dark Suburb, if you mixed our initial reaction introduction to them, came through means of hip hop. Shout out to EL for putting me on. And I was quickly and promptly blown away by how talented this band was. They're more of a rock or metal band. I'm not great and educated on how to divide the subgenres of that, so if they do fall into something specific, just tell me down in the comments and we'll correct it for the future. What I can tell you is, regardless of how you define what it is that they do, they are incredibly talented and mind-blowing. Like, the instrumentation, the presentation, the last one had like a full music video and shit like that. Like, everything was fucking dope about them. Without a doubt, I was like, we will be tapping, even if it's not like necessarily my twist, right? Like, I can't give you all the in-depth breakdown that I can do with hip-hop. I know it just sounds good and sounds dope to me, right? We know basic music theory, and this shit is fire. I wouldn't bring it to y'all if this shit wasn't fire. So they're definitely someone I'm looking forward to diving more into, while educating myself both on the genre and the band and type of music and soundscapes that they produce. That might, like, for instance, I only heard the song with them and EL. They might not sound anything like that outside of having a hip-hop feature. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's still so much ground to discover and uncover with this. I'm excited about it. We have an official video. Also, if you look at this shit looks like a, fuck, who was it? I'm happy. Gorillaz. They look like a Gorillaz video, right? It's like if the Gorillaz were from Ghana. I'm excited about this. Let's get into it real quick. Do me a favor. Run the gauntlet. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Little bell notification guy. We about to eat, man. Let's go. Let's see what this is hitting for. Let's break it down. This video looks like it's going to be dope. We're going to full screen this. We'll try and comment on the video as well. If you guys are here because you are a fan of Dark Suburb, by all means, drop what's your favorite track. What track made you a fan of them, so that we have some ideas on what to dig into for the future. Please let me know. I'm very excited for that. I'm done talking. Let's get into it. Dark Suburb. Kelewele? I know I'm probably destroying that. Correct me on how to say this down in the comments. No disrespect is intended. Kelewele, to be with an asterisk next to it. Also, what does that mean? Put it down in the comments. Let's go. Alright, hold on. I wasn't ready. This is just like went right into the song. I gotta feel the lyric drop. Hold on. I don't feel like I was like present enough for the drop there. I was still looking at everything happening. Vocal track is a little bit low. Like, it's hard to make out the lyrics 100%. Like, the instrumentation is definitely overpowering it. But I'm also like distracted trying to pay attention to the animation and stuff as well as we go along. But I think I was actually pretty close to the right pronunciation. They say it as soon as the vocals drop. So this is definitely like low-key about colonization and shit like that, right? Like, we're very clear on what the analogy is here right now. not just that either. Now it seems like the videos are like, obviously there's a language barrier, so GSGang, do the thing. All the translations, all of the things that there's like connotations and stuff like that we may not get as outside listeners. Please put all the breakdowns down in the comments so that the outside of Ghana listenership, you know what I mean, can get the full effect of it. But the illustration is doing a great job of setting the meaning home for this, even if you don't understand exactly what's being said. This looks like they're making the transition to now, just not with like the food and stuff like that, but also just about technology, right? So this could have to do with like the Bitcoin side of things, you know what I'm saying, with the VR side of things and stuff like that, the meta side of things that are taking over. AQ from Nigeria, very, very big on speaking out about this type of stuff too. I'm not surprised to see other talented artists and bands and stuff like that from other countries tapping in on the same kind of, like the same notions, you know what I mean? Let's bring this back though. Also, this is my interpretation, so if I'm way off and, you know what I mean, like the translation is something else entirely, just fucking tell me. But this is my like reaction. This is my first take on this. The volume went down, but the silence is loud, my guy. I hate being self-aware. Yeah, I no longer think it's debatable. I think my original impression of the meaning behind the song is 100% spot on. We got a couple things. Number one, we have left the Gorillaz video comparison. This is now just its own anime. Like we're no longer in that conversation worth of things. Like this has a whole storyline too. So obviously the protagonists here are being made out to be the bands, and they are coming to kind of like attack the status quo, right, of the outside influence. You know what I mean? Not only that too, but there's probably, I'm getting some subtle nodes of maybe a quieter conversation in the music industry, right? Like if you think about it, like nowadays, most things are synthesized, if not all of them. And then even the things that aren't synthesized, that are like original riffs and stuff like that, become synthesized samples and flipped and down, like everything, you know what I mean? Like there's so much that goes into it. You have them showing up with fucking guitars on the back of a fucking Jeep. Like, yo, like we're taking it back to the roots and how things are, sound good, the food tastes good naturally, the music sounds good naturally. It's kind of like getting back to the roots. This is not even a song. This is like a whole, this is how you get like an important concept or message out to the youth without them knowing. You know what I mean? This is how you like plant a seed without them necessarily 100% know that they're being spoon-fed, you know what I mean? Like things that are going to educate them and expand their mind and give them a separate way of thinking maybe than like the TikTok status quo does. I'm talking too much now. Let's get back into this. But this was fire. This is fire. It's cool to be able to follow along, you know what I'm saying, with the story and the music and the video and piece things together even when it's not necessarily spoon-fed to you. You know what I mean? I can't let that guitar, I know it's not a solo if there's other instruments, right? But whatever you call it, where the guitar riff right there, he just went off on that shit. That's fire. That speaks to my soul every time I see somebody on the guitar just like really, really go in. it feels like this is gonna be the most American analogy you ever heard. This is like the feeling after you take like an AK to the gun range and you get done like letting off an entire magazine. That kind of like feel like, I imagine that's what it feels like to just fucking completely go on. I'm gonna have to cut this analogy out. They're gonna cook me for this, but that's how I imagine it feels, right? To just come in, just like completely slaughter a fucking guitar solo and then walk off like, yeah, I did that. Hold on, bring this back. Ah, fuck. Did you ever say some shit that you just know is gonna get clipped out of context? This is me trying to pontificate. I'm definitely talking outside of my knowledge area, right? But I'm pretty sure that was the bass that just like was like keeping that rhythm right there, and like it was like, it's time. That shit was like such a, that was that was gully, right? That was such like a little pocket. That was such a good vibe that I felt right there. I'm pretty sure that's the difference in the types of guitars that you hear. Now that was the bass. I'm totally possibly wrong. Just correct me. Whatever that sound just was, that shit was very, very vibey. I really like that. Also, y'all see the tats, right? This is all anime and video game shit. I'll watch this video if this shit was on mute. Like, like this shit seems dope to me. So much gets said by this. Hold up. Go back to this shot right here. The concept of being like surrounded by modernized destruction and just the subtle imagery of the smiles on their face, like that's loud. That's a loud still frame, having followed the video. Shout out to everybody to put this stuff together. Kind of an abrupt stop on the end there, but what a dope track. What a dope experience. It's more than a track, right? Because it was the video, it was the story and the plot. Like, lyrically, very simplistic comparatively to our underground hip-hop scene that we're used to breaking down, where lyrics are weighted more than really anything else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe except for delivery and what pockets you hit. I'm not even going to do a scorecard. Man, should I? I feel like I should. But it does, like, the way that we would score these things, like, that was from the last one too, the way that we would score this would be super different. I kind of just want to share this right now, right? So I would say this was super, super dope conversation piece. The video was fire. Overall, definitely high 90s, you know what I mean? Low 90s maybe, 91 minimal, but I don't want to get into that. This was just enjoyable, and I think I want to get a conversation going. How on point was my breakdown of this? Did you take away the same thing that I did? Especially if you didn't understand. Like, if you're in the same, you know, place as me, and we're just Kelewele all day long, and we don't know why or what that means. What was your takeaway from this? Let's get a conversation started about it. And then more than anything, I do want your suggestions on know, if you guys have been around here a little bit long, you know my taste in music. What from Dark Suburb do you think would score the best, what I would personally like the most, things like that? Let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, please make sure you go follow them on all social media, support the music, tap in if you haven't, you like this, let me know what we're missing out on. As always, I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, I will catch y'all on the next one. Let's go.